everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast, and we had baseball last night, gentlemen. It wasn't great, but we had some.
Happy opening day.
Absolutely.
Well, I have to say that, first off, let's give a big shout out to Netflix for really screwing that up.
Yeah.
What's up, Mom?
Yep. Yeah.
Today is Celebrate Herb Day, so.
I was going to say the make up your own. I feel like it's National Opening Day. Let's go.
Exactly. Opening day is its own thing here.
By the way, that is the actual holiday for today. Make up your own holiday day is actually true.
No. I believe that Zach is bringing heaters every time. So, he could throw a curveball in there. I wouldn't even know. Because I don't go back and fact check these at all.
No, Zach's usually on point. So happy Celebrate Herb Day, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the Jamies Are Awesome Day too. I might as well just
but only
face paint day, and of course I didn't come on with any face paint today. So
see, you're not even celebrating your own day. Like, what are we doing?
That'll be later. Trust me, that will be later.
Oh man. But yeah, to your point, Netflix has not figured out live sports very well yet. Right. One of the biggest complaints that was early on in this game was the center field camera was blurry, well, not blurry, but foggy, right? It looked like it looked like there was just like fog in the stadium until you saw every other camera angle and you're like, oh, that they got that camera off of Temu. And then, they also just didn't have the image speed to keep up with any kind of fast movement. So if they were zoomed in on a ball being thrown or a guy running, his legs would be like Minecraft. All of a sudden it's all pixelated and you can't really see. It's just a blur. It's just like, man, how bad is this broadcast?
Yeah. I would say that it's, I didn't hear the sounds. But I do know that it did. I'm like, wow, was there a lot of fires near the stadium that there was all that smoke? It looked like it was smoky.
Yeah.
That camera. It was very odd. It was almost like they didn't have the right settings on the cameras.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. It's like, first off, in baseball, you need to be doing it at about 6,000 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. You know what I mean? And it's like, even at that, that's pretty quick. But even at that, that's when you still are having a hard time figuring out what touched first, the ball into the glove or the foot on the bag.
For sure.
There's space in between that. At 6,000 frames per second, it was like that they were at 1,500. That's what it, and that's a big difference in the grand scheme of things.
No question.
Might have even been less.
No, it was funny because just seeing how bad, especially the high speed movement was. It was like they went to one of those TV auctions where a studio closed down and they're like, we have these old cameras. They're like, that's what I need. Like,
I think Netflix just worries more about acquiring, these properties and stuff than actually like producing. It's like they put all their effort into that. And then after they get it, they're like, oh crap, we won. Now what do we do? So, and it just seems like every single first or second production of theirs is just awful. Not even just it's a little choppy or slow. It's just awful.
The only one that they did okay was that it was the Christmas Eve game for the NFL. That one was okay, but only because they used a combination of Fox and NBC stuff.
I thought that they actually dealt with NFL Films on that. And it was NFL Films stuff that they used, that it wasn't Fox or CBS.
So maybe it was NFL Films cameras, but they grabbed commentators from Fox and NBC. So they didn't try and do that on their own because their first try at doing stuff on their own, like Philly there in the comments said, was the Tyson fight. And most people didn't even get to see it. They just saw a buffering wheel. I was lucky enough that mine wasn't messed up, but yeah, for most people, they didn't even see most of the fight. Now, you didn't miss anything because that fight was terrible. But
Right.
but at the same time, if you logged in, you kind of wanted to see how terrible it was going to be.
Exactly. You know, if you're going to do sports, you might as well try to do them right. And I mean, I understand kind of their thought process in this. It's like, listen, you know, like when you think of doing a podcast, even
Sure.
the vision in the podcast isn't necessarily the biggest thing that you have to worry about. You have to worry about the sound. And I
Yeah,
tell you, the sound was probably perfect. You know, it's like I didn't care for the way that they did the hoopla. You know, first off, who chose like the Yankees? I can understand. The Yankees make sense to me on that they're going to be on opening day. It used to be, and I don't know why it was always like this, but it was probably because baseball kind of started very close by. Cincinnati was always the first pitch of the season.
well, they were the first team, right?
Is that what that was?
As I recall, the Reds were the first MLB team, and so there was some history there. Now, and for something like 40 or 50 years, exactly, they were the first pitch coming out, but that hasn't been true in 20 years now.
It was actually I want to say even up into the 2000, like 2008, 2010. It may
Yeah.
have been changed right about
Almost 20
now.
years ago, man.
Well, yeah, it's 15 years. I get it.
He's like, not yesterday? And yes, the Reds were the first MLB team. So that is why that was.
Something's
Yeah.
going on with somebody's speaker, by the way. I'm getting a big reverb, and that's probably from you, Herb.
You're always going to say that.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No. You just glitched out pretty hard, so I think it might actually be.
So,
But
anyways,
at first I thought it was just Alabama slander, but now
It
seeing you
usually
glitch
is.
around.
I don't know.
that being said, the Yankees I understand starting the season. The Giants. I don't know. Maybe they should take a page from the football and start with the World Series winner. I mean, not for anything. I mean, I think that I can't stand the Dodgers, but watching the Yankees and the Dodgers open up the season may have been a little bit more exciting. The Dodgers did just win the World Series, so maybe you should lead off with them.
So they did, though, because opening day internationally already happened, right? So domestically, yesterday was
no. There was none.
Oh,
they did not do international games this year.
Oh, I thought the
Because
Dodgers
of the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So there was not like in previous years. Yes, the Dodgers played Chicago and such like that. That I understood. You know, I get, but this year that did not happen.
Yeah.
So because of that, I feel like that they should take a page from football and open up with the World Series champion.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Or, just make it the full-on rematch game, right? Like, have both teams that were in the World Series kick it off.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out as well like that, though, because they want to keep every team kind of close to where they are. Like, you don't see a team start their season too far away from home because they want to have it their first couple series. I mean, like, even if you don't start your team, I understand the Yankees.
Like the Yankees just traveled about as far as you could travel.
Yeah, and ultimately, it's like they are also having to go back because the next series, I believe, is when they come back in. But normally, they want to keep things close because the first three series is where everybody plays, at home. So it's like even if you have 2 series on the road, or 2 3 game series on the road, you go back home and you're at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Nick, I was fine with you in the comments until now. Like, what are we doing?
yeah, Nick, it's gonna be all season long, Nick. You and me and you,
Yeah, that's right.
going at it. I can't stand the Dodgers, and like I said, I want to, I put this out there, and I explained it to a couple of people that they put me all over the television the other day. I think that there's going to be too many cocks in the hen house for that. You know what I mean? And I think that you're going to have ego problems, and
See,
especially when you start having some issues and winning games.
I don't have a problem with the Dodgers. I just hope they lose.
I'm game for that, Nick. Yeah, let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Because I will say that the Phillies typically do have the Dodgers number. And last year was the first year the Dodgers ever beat the Phillies in the playoffs. Now, I think it was there's only been, that was the 5th series, and we were 4-0 lead going up into that series. But I didn't really care, just to go backwards a little bit. I didn't really care for the way that they introduced the players. Let's put 2 taxi cabs and have the Yankees run through those, and let's have the Giants. And the other thing is that they announced the Giants first as the home team, which
That's
I
weird.
thought was odd as well.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, like if the because I started watching it, we logged on a little later. We were in the middle of a dart playoff game, so it took us a minute to actually log on. And I saw the Yankees running through and onto the field. I'm like, okay, I wonder what the Giants are going to run through, and they're already lined up. And that's when you saw the whole field, that I saw that there was a trolley. And I'm like, why would they have announced the Giants first as the home team?
Yeah, that's kind of odd. That's kind of odd. I mean, I don't know. Some sports just do it different.
I know the Phillies don't. The Phillies are going to announce the Texas Rangers first.
Yeah.
And then they will announce all the Phillies.
Yeah, because I mean, like, a lot of times for like the Storm, they'll introduce the home team, and then they're like, and the other guys. So, because they don't want the other team out there doing their shoot around first, right? So they bring the Storm out, and then they're just like, yeah, and the other team is in the building, like, we don't care.
Right.
So,
but with opening day, I hope everybody has done their MLB drafts for MLB fantasy. That is not a fantasy that I play at all.
Because,
it's way too involved. I did it 1 year, and I was really big on picking up starting pitchers early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I had all my starting pitching taken care of with 2 months left to go. And then I'm like, oh, great, perfect. Now I could just pick up closers. You know what I mean? And do it that way and get all the closers. You would think that would work out great. It did not.
You can't get enough points.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, how that works, because I'll just take all closers at the end of the year, and every time they get a save is a point and such, and I already had a lot of wins.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that the last time I played fantasy baseball, one of my waiver wire pickups was a pitcher from Chicago who, in his second outing ever, struck out 20 guys.
Wow.
He was, and it was in, I want to say it was 2003, maybe. I can't remember the kid's name, but he was lights out for a few years and then just fell off. But he struck out in his second outing ever, had 20 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, fantasy baseball is crazy. Like you got to have some free time because I mean, first off, baseball season's so long, but then the amount of moves you got to make and the requirements for pitching, and you only get so many innings and all it. I don't got time for that. Like I don't like, and especially
Terry Wood.
okay, especially the people that have like 4 or 5 fantasy baseball teams. You're just like, how do you have time to do anything else? Like, I don't know. It just listening to people last year, you know, as doing some of those Thursday night football at the brewery, they you know, telling me about all the moves and all the things they had to do. I was like, that's exhausting just hearing it. And maybe I don't like baseball enough to want to do that. Maybe that's the issue. Although I don't play fantasy football either, so there is that.
There you go. And that was actually back in 1998.
So just like 3-4
And
years ago, yeah.
yeah, just 3-4. And he literally and that game was against the Houston Astros. It was a one-hit game in his second game ever as a major league pitcher. 20 years old, struck out 20.
I'm not mad at him beating up on the Astros.
Well, and that was
that's
back
not a
when the
bad deal.
Astros were still in the NL.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are not going to win another one this year, just so that you guys know. The Dodgers are going to have a hard time making the playoffs, even with all of that. That's going to be so great that they had the $1 billion payroll that didn't make the playoffs.
Nick, there just wasn't much about that broadcast that made you excited about it. So like there was like the camera was bad, the speed was bad, the commentary was at least funny. I'll give them that. You know, they had to your point, they made some of it hard to see on their little, you know, reader. Plus it was just a bad game too, you know, insult to injury, right? The Yankees just beat the brakes off them. So it yeah, it was lackluster top to bottom. So
Yeah, that's that. That's that. That being said, let's start our way too early predictions of how we think this baseball season is going to be.
all right.
Let's start with the American League. And we're going to start with the East. The Yankees are already out to a commanding 1-game lead to start of the season.
Undefeated.
Undefeated. Yeah, it looks like they just look like a powerhouse over there. It's especially if they have to face Giants pitching all the time. Who do you think wins the East?
I do have the Yankees. The Blue Jays are going to give them everything they have, though. You know, so it'll be it'll be whether or not the Yankees have that late season push to get past them. But I think it's sort of a coin flip between the two of them. The Blue Jays didn't lose any talent really this offseason. I think they added a pitcher as well, if I remember right. So, I mean, they're not going to have a huge drop off from last season. That being said, when the hitting gets going for the Yankees, they're tough to beat. So it'll just be when the streaks happen for the Yankees.
So let's go with Alabama.
I'm going with the Blue Jays. I'd rather root against the Yankees anyway, and if I pick the Blue Jays and be wrong, than pick the Yankees and be right. So despite this hole that they find themselves in to start the year, I do think they can make a comeback, and I'm gonna go with the Blue Jays to win.
Yeah, I also think that it's going to be the Blue Jays. I think that their pitching will last better than the Yankees. I feel like that's always the Achilles heel of New York teams is injuries. and the Yankees are older. They still this offseason they didn't really change a lot. I know that they added some pieces, but the pieces that I feel like that they added like are just not, they still have Judge, and Judge is going to
Yep.
always be that guy. Uh, I don't know. I think that like the other guys that they have on their roster is just not enough. I'm not a fan of Jazz Chisholm, and I know he's a Philly killer. I know that they have Bellinger now, and I feel like that he is hit or miss. He goes cold for in tough stretches of time.
Well, and that's why I said streaky, right? Like it'll depend on the Yankees' streaks because when their guys are hitting, they're almost unbeatable. And when they're not, I mean, the Padres could have. So, it's just unfortunate for them that last night, they were making contact.
Right. Well, and it's the beginning of the season, so that's kind of what they do best. Goldschmidt. I mean, I think they do have some names that do it. Giancarlo Stanton is just, or otherwise Mike Stanton is I think he's jumped the shark. So I think that the Blue Jays are going to be the ones that pull it out. And I will do as a surprise wild card team, the Boston Red Sox.
That's Nick's pick.
Although,
right
we'll come back to wild card. We'll just because there's going to be three of them, obviously. So let's just take the division leaders to start off. In the AL Central, this was really between three teams last year for most of the year. The Guardians, the Tigers, the Royals kind of played a little bit of there. The Twins kind of played a little bit in there. The White Sox did not.
No.
I was at the point where I was rooting for the White Sox to lose every game just because, I just wanted to see more history.
Yeah, right? Just reset that record again.
Yes.
I am going to lead this one off, and I am going with the Detroit Tigers to win this division with Delco's own McGonigal starting opening day. It's a big deal around here because it's like he went to a school about 15, 20 minutes away from here, and everybody's really excited about the fact that he actually made the opening day roster and is, not only did he make the team, but he is starting on opening day. So I am going, just for that alone, the Detroit Tigers will win the AL Central.
Yeah, my pick as well. Mostly because all the research I did before the season, like any article I read, made it look like there was no other choice. They were like, all Tigers, everyone else is fighting for second. So Tigers as well.
Yeah, that is kind of the deal, though. Like the Tigers are going to win this thing. KC will be interesting, but I got Tigers here.
Now, the West. Last year, it went down to the last game.
Yep.
Or last two games, actually. They did it with one game left that they clinched. And Seattle was able to pull it out. Do they have that same mojo?
I still don't have them as their division winner. I don't. I have Houston. I do have them as a wild card team. I just don't think they did anything this offseason. And so like they signed some key guys, right? Naylor comes back and like all of that. So that's great. But at the same time, we didn't necessarily add any firepower with a bat in their hand. And that is something that was a little bit of an issue last year is the Mariners did get into that, like you're launching bombs or you're not doing anything. And they needed to go get one more bat. They didn't do it. I think they are still a very good team. I think they get into the playoffs, but I think Houston retakes that division.
Okay.
I always have more faith in those teams than he does.
I am cautiously optimistic. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, when the
I've-
person who knows the least picks your team, who knows how that's going to go? But I'm going.
Hey, I've just been watching this team for 40 years, and so there's some history that I've watched us do.
I've been watching.
He doesn't call them
You have
hope.
my support.
From hope to nope for nothing.
I mean,
So he's going with Seattle Mariners. I think that you are going to see a very unique resurgence by the Los Angeles Angels. I think the
Interesting.
Angels are going to surprise people this year. And I say that because they went on some youth pitching that they've added, and Trout is as healthy as he has ever been, and they have a guy behind him who has the potential to be able to really protect him in the lineup. Now, is he really going to be protecting him? I can't say that for certain, but it's they talk about a lot of hype about this. Now, the Angels, the rest of their roster is not very good, but I think that they are young, they are hungry, and they don't know any better. And I think that 94 games could win this division, and that the Angels could be that team.
Okay.
Just saying, it's a flyer. It's definitely a flyer.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
3 articles I have up right now have them last in the division. Like the only thing that
Right.
all 3 agree on is the
Right.
Angels.
Yeah.
So
you know what? When everybody agrees like that, they're usually dead wrong.
Of course. Now that I can agree on. So I'm just telling you why it makes it an interesting pick to me. Someone who just kind of read and get ready into the season. So
right. I listen. I've read all the stuff. I've seen it all. I look at it as that there's so many what ifs. It's like, oh, is this guy going to be good? We don't know. Is this guy going to be able to handle the entire season? We don't know. Is Trout going to be able to stay healthy all season long? Because this team's only going to go as far as Trout's going to take them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that it's been so bad for so long, and they finally have started to they started to bring guys up, and there's not a lot of tape on these pitchers. Now, does that mean in the middle of the season there's going to be enough tape on these pitchers to be able to figure them out? Possibly. You know what I mean? I think at the beginning you're going to see them win some games that they're not supposed to win, and that's going to start to carry a little bit. Like I said, I've been dead wrong before.
Yeah, in these predictions.
Yeah.
No, it's I think this is a 3-team race for third. is really what this is. Because I mean the Angels, yeah, I mean they're going to be better than they've been, but that's not setting the bar very high. The A's also going to be better than they've been, but I mean they've been a bottom dweller for the better part of a decade. And then the Rangers, who knows what they're doing. So I think after the first 2 teams, there's going to be a little bit more of a gap this time around.
We will see. We will definitely see.
I mean,
That
we're
moves
not
us
to football yet, but I hadn't heard that, Cam.
There we go. And wild card teams. Let's stick with let's choose wild card teams while we're in the AL. Yankees. Bo, you said that already that you thought that the Blue Jays would be a wild card team.
Yeah. So I got the Blue Jays. I think Boston sneaks in there, and then Seattle.
Toronto, Boston, and Seattle.
So mine will flip flop. Then I'd have the Yankees, the Red Sox, and Houston, since those are guys I didn't pick.
Oh, okay.
So like same teams, I guess, just getting there in different ways.
Mhm.
And then Houston. So, wow, I am like way off from you guys. I
I mean, that's not a bad place to be when I'm picking.
Yeah, I do think the Yankees will have enough to get into the playoffs, just because I think that is a bad team. I got the Guardians making it. I think Cleveland's pitching is still the best in that division, even though Detroit's got the much better roster in general. And then I have the Seattle Mariners. So Houston does not make the playoffs.
Ooh.
But Yankees, Cleveland, Seattle for me. So everybody's got the Yankees making it. Everybody's got the Blue Jays making it. You guys have Boston, where I have Cleveland. We all chose the Tigers. That means the Tigers are probably going to have the worst season ever in baseball.
Probably. they're getting shut out on opening night. It's
100%.
10-0. It's like it's done.
The only team that we all agreed on making the playoffs was Seattle. And I guess maybe that's just wishful thinking that we'll have something to talk about in October, since the Seahawks will probably be 0-4 to start the season, and the Mariners.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you guys some more to talk about once we get to the NL.
All right. So in the National League, starting with the National League East, and your favorite team, Mr. Alabama guy, the Braves.
Yes, we will not be winning the division.
Yeah, right.
I'm actually going to give the Mets the regular season division crown in the East.
You got the Mets.
I don't have a lot of faith in them after that, but I think they'll do enough to win in the regular season.
See, knowing the Mets well enough and just how things go up in New York, the one thing that you could be 100% sure on is that the Mets will Mets it up.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm well aware of this when I make this pick. I'm just saying they Mets it up in the playoffs instead.
Okay.
I have the Phillies winning the division. And winning the division with about a week and a half to go.
Yeah, I also have the Phils here, and mostly because the Mets are the Mets, because they have the talent to win.
Right.
They pay enough money to win. They just won't. So yeah, I got the Phillies winning that division.
Gotcha. Okay. Central Division. This is a tough one. And you never know how anything's going to go. And,
it's not a great division.
It's not. It's not a great division. And
you can put me down for the Cubbies, though.
So you got the Cubs. See, and I know better than that. I am going to go.
I went Brew Crew.
Yeah, so I tell you, and this might be wishful thinking on my part, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Whoa.
I understand that they are not usually in that conversation. They do put together long winning streaks during a time when they seem so far out of it. They put on that big winning streak to get within, spitting distance and then trail off. Something tells me, call it
were we just talking about the Mariners, or
I call it about the semi-quincentennial and Pennsylvania being the stage of a lot of sports this year. I think that has something to do with this. I think that Pittsburgh's going to come out in droves all season long for them, and that's going to energize this team. Plus, they do have a Cy Young guy, a perennial Cy Young guy, and they did pick up a couple of bats. So,
yeah. So this is why I laughed too, I know better than to pick the Cubbies, so I'm going to pick a team that's definitely not going to win.
I did say that it might be wishful thinking on my part. So it's like I understand exactly where I'm coming from with that. But I think that they're going to surprise. Listen, that division out of all the divisions, worse than the Central over there, or even the AL West. The AL West wasn't a good division last year, and the AL Central was also kind of tough. This NL Central can be won by any one of these teams.
No question.
And usually I would say St. Louis is the perennial, but St. Louis stinks.
No,
they
they're bad.
stink out loud. And until they start to turn it around, I don't think the Cubs have enough. The Reds are the Reds, and they have some hitting, but have a problem with their pitching. And the Brewers actually could put together stuff. I mean, the Brewers are a good team. I'm just saying that Pittsburgh may be that guy. Yeah, may be that team that surprises people this year.
Pittsburgh,
and you can definitely bet against Pags on this one by using the QR code on the screen, because there is a no chance. Although if you have some pizza money to throw away, it's not a bad bet, because the return on it's probably pretty great. Up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee. Bet alongside us right here, coast to coast.
I think they're a plus 800 to win the division.
It is. I would imagine that most of the division is around there, because to your point, just about any team can win this division because it's not a very good one.
Well, you got the Brewers at probably a plus 125.
Yeah, and
you
the
probably
Cubbies
have
close to that.
Yeah, the Cubs are probably a plus 200. The Reds are probably a plus 3 or 250, because those three are going to be fairly close. I don't think anybody is like negative money. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
hey, it's not going to be a minus 110 for that. I would say that both the Pirates and the Cardinals are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of plus 750, plus 800. And that could be either way. Like the one's 750, the other one's 800. In any stretch.
Joe, we appreciate you, man. Since every bet doesn't clear.
There you go. Good luck on that.
All of a sudden they get in a bus crash. They're just grabbing kids from AAA.
So the last division, and I know where Nick is going to go with this one. The NL West.
I mean, literally everybody but you is going to be taking the Dodgers here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So I figure.
Wait, hold on. I want to see. Let me see. What do you got? He's gonna take the Rockies.
No,
Yes. Keeping it with the Pirates level of play, is that
yes, you know what I mean? You know, Angels, Pirates, Rockies. Come on.
Yep.
I have winning the division.
Yes.
I have the San Diego Padres.
Wow.
Sure.
I might root for
let's
your
go.
picks more than my picks just because they're so easy to root for.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, Pags does watch baseball. You wouldn't think so right now, but he does.
And I do know what I'm talking about. So it will surprise you that I'm right on one of these weirdo picks. I will be right on.
Which, if you actually, we are no longer friends. No one friends like 5 minutes ago.
Hey, listen,
Joe's
that's
with
why
you.
we're fighting. That's why we're fighting. So, in the wild card positions, I will have. See, this is a tough one. This is where I feel like the only team that I can actually put in the wild card that I know that I think will make the playoffs will be the Brewers.
And not the Dodgers?
No, he wants them to miss altogether.
No, I actually have them imploding. And I listen, I either going to be right or wrong with that, obviously, but it's
For sure.
Yeah, I have a 50-50 chance either way. I feel like that they literally have too many egos in there,
Okay.
and they're all making a lot of money. And when you have that many egos in one spot, it's only going to take a small disturbance that will create a big problem. The Mets learned about this a couple of years ago. There have been teams, the Yankees have had to deal with this over different times. When you put together the dream team is usually a nightmare. And then I am going it off that. And now, could I be wrong? Again, it would not be the first time.
Yeah, because technically the original dream team kicked everybody's butt. So,
well, yes, but every other dream team since then has not lived up to the expectations. And when you have, hey, listen, there was a difference when you had Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, those guys, Charles Barkley, those guys were not going to ever get beaten, ever.
No,
ever.
I just wanted you to say that. I love it.
Yeah,
no, I'll root for the Padres. I would not mind if the Dodgers missed the whole thing.
No, it would be funny. Like I would not be mad at it. I just don't think it happens.
Yeah.
So I think the Mets will make the playoffs this year. I think that they actually have too strong of a team to miss it. They'll Mets it up in the wild card.
For sure.
That's what they do. They Mets it up, and their owner will be like, how much money do I not have to spend, or do I have to spend?
The Mets are the San Diego Chargers. Not the LA Chargers, San Diego Chargers.
San Diego.
Right? The ones that we used to know and love that would have a good regular season, may or may not get in, but if they do get in, it's an early exit.
Yeah. And you know what, Nick? You are so right. You are absolutely correct. I can't argue with anything that you're saying there. The closer, I not necessarily agree with. I feel like that bar could be reset again this year. Like I don't feel that he was the best closer in baseball last year. He gave up a certain amount of runs and stuff like that. The bullpen was not what won the championship for the Dodgers last year. So I will not go with that. Do they have one of the best managers in baseball right now? Yes. Do they have Shohei Ohtani, who is the best player in baseball currently? Yes. I will agree to those statements. But they also have a lot of ego in that locker room. And I got to imagine that manager, we're going to find out how great of a manager that guy is, because it's adversity. It's when adversity comes in a group of guys that are not used to
losing.
You know what I mean? And that's where things are going to start to unravel a little bit. And I'm kind of counting on it. I'm hoping for it. I'm praying for it. I'm going to start tweeting about certain things and making rumors up. Hey, I know a friend of mine's a bookie and he's taking bets for Shohei again. You know what I mean? Things like that.
So basically you're going to get sued is what's going to happen.
Oh, no. I'm doing it under my alias.
You did some burner account. You got one of Durant's phones.
But
oh man.
And then my last wild card team, which I have a feeling could be really scary when it comes to the playoffs, is the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
So
So on my side, I got the Mets. I do think they sneak in as a wild card this year. I have the Cubs getting in as well, and then the D-backs.
And for you, Herb?
Brewers, Phillies, and of course, with me guiding them this whole season, rooting them on, I will drag the Braves into the playoffs.
Not worried about that PED guy that's just taking a year off, or
nope.
All that's fine. Okay.
No. Hey, look, if we root like the Angels and the Pirates, like we can get the Braves
I
into
mean,
the playoff.
that's fair. Like if that's the route we're going, you know what?
Yes.
Fair enough. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So out of all of those teams, who do you foresee? Way too early prediction. Who is your World Series matchup and winner?
So the championship games, I'm going with Yankees, Seattle, and then Phillies, Dodgers. That's my championship games. And even though the odds of this happening are exceedingly low because the Yankees beat up on the Mariners every time they meet in the playoffs, I'm going to go with Seattle finally sneaks their way into their first World Series for the homer pick, despite the fact that I don't think they win their division. And then sadly, they're going to square off against the Dodgers. Best team money can buy.
And do they beat them?
I have to say yes because I want LA to lose so bad.
I'm with it.
Cubs winning it all. All right.
Well, we'll see.
I
They're not winning it
disagree
all
with
over
this.
Philly. They wouldn't be playing Philly in the World Series, just so that you know. But it could be an NLCS matchup.
Yeah. And
Just
I
so
can't get in with this one. The Braves are not a strong team.
especially a lot less now that their main
Yeah.
bat is out for the season.
Take it a year off.
Yankees.
Yeah. Versus the Red Sox. Okay.
There you go. And
both of my teams had drug offenses, like I think in the same week or so. So
Joe, that can't happen either.
yeah,
I
that's
can't
yeah.
believe y'all
They're
missed an obvious one here. My picks: Seattle
Atlanta.
over there. No, look, I drug them into the playoffs, and then I let them on their own, and they lost the first game and got knocked out. So I was like, I don't have that much faith. I'm picking them for one little spot. So no, Seattle, definitely over the Yankees. I'd rather pick Toronto on that spot, but I'll go with the Yankees. That's fine. And the Phillies over the Dodgers.
Okay.
On the other side. So we have the most epic show of all time, Seattle and Philly.
It would be
In the
amazing.
World Series. For Game 7, Bo does the face paint. The Mariners win.
I mean, if that's
their
what it takes
first ever, their first ever World Series win with face paint on.
Let's
do we glue a mohawk on his head?
Yes, we absolutely do.
I mean,
We absolutely do.
it.
We're going all out.
You know what? If it goes to a Game 7, I'll do it. If it goes World Series Game 7, I'll.
Because I'll be there. I mean, depending or you'll be here, one or the other.
One of the two.
Yeah, I absolutely get playoff tickets. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I will be at those games. And if you get me tickets over there, we will go to every game of that series. Set a playoff, a World Series between Seattle and the Phillies. I would absolutely go to every game of that series.
That would be fun. That would be a wild experience for sure.
Imagine the show like that we would be doing that week, like that leading up to that stuff. We would probably be we would rule the airwaves that week.
Absolutely.
That week and a half. That's because that's usually 10 days. And if it went 7 games, can you imagine? Listen, I have been to a World Series where we have lost, and I had to walk around with face paint through a crowd that was celebrating a championship. And I will say it's not as fun. It's definitely not fun, but it was not as bad as I thought it would be either. It's like they were, they thought that I would be a Philly fan, like what they believe is an atypical Philly fan. and that I was going to like yell and scream and be like, "Oh, you guys didn't deserve it," and get those types of sound bites. And all I did was congratulate them and tell them to be safe. And it was those moments went viral because of that, and that's why Houston is 8% of my fan base, because they understand that I was, a good enough guy out there, and there's a lot of people in Houston that know who I am and such like that.
Well, I mean, you gotta lose graciously, right? Like you gotta be like, hey, you know what, you guys got it. Like even if you think your team is better, you weren't on that day, so it doesn't matter.
And literally, they no hit us in a World Series game.
I mean, come on. Like,
and I also remember the day after we clinched the wild card spot, we were playing in Houston. That next day, they almost no hit us then too. It was a bunch of pitchers that no hit us, so it wasn't like we just didn't hit the ball. But the day after we clinched, they almost no hit us. It went to 2 outs in the 9th inning when somebody finally got a hit, and then
the manager's in there, wreck it.
And then they wound up no hitting us.
Get the movie reference there. The Mariners are going to be a good team. I mean, they made it to the ALCS last year, and most of that roster is intact. So, I mean, they're going to be a solid team. I just have a little less faith in them being consistent, and some of that does have history playing involved.
I personally do not. I think it's going to be, and I hate to not have Seattle in this. I don't want to be the poor sport here and not go with the rest of the.
No. I mean, you for me, the pick does have a little bit of homer to it, right? Because it'd be cool for them to finally get there, and I just can't get behind picking the Yankees. So,
so I have it: the Blue Jays versus the Tigers, and I have the Phillies versus the Brewers.
Okay,
it's either going to be the Brewers or the Padres, and either way, we're going to see somebody who was on the team when the Philly, like recently, whether it's going to be Rhys Hoskins or it's going to be Castellanos. And I expect Castellanos is going to have a year to just make the Phillies fans miserable all season long. That he's going to hit like 325 and 37 home runs and 94 RBIs and stuff like that. But I got the Phillies going to the World Series. Go figure. I'm going to be the homer, and it's going up against Detroit Tigers with the Phillies finally getting the ring for Bryce.
Nice. I mean, the Tigers are a good team. So, yeah, I like Detroit.
So our way too early selections have, just so that we go revisit, Seattle versus the Yankees in the ALCS, Phillies versus the Dodgers in the NLCS, and he's got Seattle over the Dodgers as the homer over there, Bo. And then we have Seattle winning it, as Mr. Alabama is also going to play homer for Bo to try to help our show stats go way higher. But he has us going up against the Phillies. And up against, bad things for your buddy Nick over there, as nobody has the Dodgers. Well, Bo's got the Dodgers going to the World Series, but that doesn't count. Nobody has the Dodgers going to the World Series.
I don't have them winning, so there's that.
And I have the Phillies beating Milwaukee and the Tigers beating the Blue Jays, and the Phillies doing it in 6 games against the Detroit Tigers. Way too early predictions.
And they are all going to be wrong. So that works out. Like, this panel is going to get 3 of these teams right. And that's about it.
For me, that's way more than I got last year. So I'm in. I'm on an upward trend.
Well, I don't mean necessarily in their locations, but based on all of the teams that we have in the playoffs, whether they win the division or the wild card, we're probably going to get at least 3 of them in.
We hope, because if we get all 6 wrong,
that would be amazing.
We're the mush. We're the mush.
No question.
Oh.
That would be. It'd be funny though. It would be funny.
With the last few minutes, where are you watching? Where are you watching opening day?
I'm watching at home. Yep. Where are you watching the Braves?
The Braves don't even play today.
Oh, they have tomorrow's game?
Yeah, they got tomorrow's game.
I got
Yes. My Braves fan is already making sure I know. Like in the last night, she's typing, "We start on Friday." I was like, "Okay, got it, thank you." So I'll be having highlights text to me if I miss the games. But yeah, we'll be on Friday.
Nice.
So today I will be working.
You headed to the stadium, or are you guys away?
I know we are at home, and I will be heading to the stadium. I am right after this show, like right in 4 more minutes. I will start painting up, and I will be getting down there, and expecting to come back. Not only do I have this tonight, the home opener, but right afterwards I have the Flyers.
Oh, I got you.
Wow.
So I am going to be doing both.
Speaking of hockey, before we get out of here, I did get one pretty cool notification yesterday. As a media member, I get to be one of the voters for our Kraken awards, end of season awards. So I get to be one of the voters for that.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Look at me doing actual things.
I would say that that means you got to start to really do a deep dive on everybody now. Now you got to really see what everybody did.
Yeah, so that is accurate. Yeah. So I started doing that a little bit this morning. It's like, okay, let me go back and see, because I don't remember exactly some of early on in the year, because you get so wrapped up in what's in front of you that you kind of forget some of those things from a couple of months ago. So yeah, I got to go back through and kind of remember exactly what everybody did. And
I will tell you that the sports app is great for that. When you go to each individual and it shows what their production was per game.
Yeah, so the cool thing is they actually send me all of the sheets for every game, right? And it gives you all of those season totals and stuff. So fortunately, I don't have to go very far. Those are part of just the media packet that they give you every game. So,
nice.
Yeah. So fortunately, I get, a ton of information. So
there you go.
Yeah, small victories. That being said, we do got to get out of here. If you're listening on 97.3 ICU Radio, stay tuned for some smooth jazz headed your way. If you're listening on
opening day smooth jazz,
that's right. Gotta show up calm so you can get excited. And then, of course, if you're watching on every other platform, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow and recap opening day. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.